You are now tuned in to the News You Can Use podcast. Let's get into it. We're watching a Shine interview with Camera.
It's just me. But obviously, everybody that come out, they got to put them with someone. You know, when Kobe come out, they put him to Jordan. You know, when you
Right.
know other artists come out, they're like, well, he remind me of this person or he remind me of that person.
Right.
So I work very hard to separate myself and to not be compared with anybody and to try to establish myself, not taking anything away from, being compared to the greatest of all time, but that goes both ways, right? I
Right.
prefer to be compared as a great, but not to be
Right.
compared for, well, he sounds like, or his style is like. I really worked hard to try to distinguish myself. And if you listen to the Shine album, you could tell that, that's all Shine. And definitely on the Godfather Buried Alive album, I really think I moved totally into my own zone, different flows every song, and no flow sounding like any other rapper. Not just the greatest rapper, but nobody. So I worked really hard for that.
Yeah, 100%. Because that was going to be one of my questions, and you kind of answered it. But I would like a yes and no. Did it? Because you answered it, but did it irk you to be compared to Big? Because you like, I get what you're saying. This same now. Listen, same thing for me, Sean. Listen, you talk about and remember, I had to hear Biggie every day. I had to, I don't even have to tone this him or nothing, but I had to listen, this is the way Big was said. This is the way Big was said. And he would have his, and I'm like, I can be Cam. That's all I can be is Cam. Did it irk you or bother you when people would compare you to Big?
But what it did, it inspired me. It inspired me to, as I said, to distinguish myself. I never forget my guy Nigel Talley. I met him through Mace.
Shout out to Naj.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
met
shout out to
yeah, I
Naj.
met Nige and Tone, Big Tone.
Yeah,
Um,
shout out to Tone. Yep,
yeah,
Tone and Naj, absolutely.
yeah, our BX guy. So I met him on Mace tour bus, or I think it was a No Way Out tour bus, and he became one of my day one guys. And he used to be in the studio telling me, you from Brooklyn, you from the streets, like you shine, like let them. They got to know shine, like this not about anybody else. And that was important to me because they wasn't saying like, oh, he's like big because he's great, or he's like big because of his skill set. It was the baritone and getting in the studio and learning the studio and becoming free to be yourself. um it's amazing. It's a real navigation. Some people get it off the rip. It took the criticisms and it took the crucifixion. I feel like I was being crucified by some people because some people took it the other way. It was like, who's this guy? God bless the dead. Big just passed away, and at the time, Puff didn't have the best reputation. So it's like, what is he trying to do here? Is he trying to remake? Is he trying to, bring Bi back? So there was a lot of that. It was real nasty. So for me, but what it did for me is the same thing as what I'm going through now with my political opponents.
So listen, Sean, we know after you did your time for the case that you had, we'll talk about some of that later. We're not going to get into a bunch of messy
Yo,
shit.
yo, yo.
We already talk about popular shit, but we
Yo,
will get
what's
into that.
good? What's good? What's good?
People who know you and who followed your journey, and for those who didn't follow your journey, we know that you got extradited to Belize. And since then, you became exactly what when you got there? Because some people say prime minister, they don't know if it's Congress, they don't know if you're president. It's a lot of confusion, but they know Brooklyn Sean. Sean got deported, not extradited, pardon me, I used the wrong word, deported to Belize. You got there, it seemed like you were about to start rapping when you got there, because I was looking at some shit when you was like on a bike on a dirt road and you was spinning. I'm like, oh, this might get dangerous. This nigga, he sound better than when he went to jail. Could you explain your journey from the time you got deported from America and then where you're at now as far as the country Belize is
Yeah,
concerned?
so when I got deported, definitely, I had all intentions of returning to the music industry, but not being in the States definitely devastated that. And I think, it's interesting. Now I have a extraordinary ability visa, which is, for people with, Grammy nominations and people that have, critical acclaim internationally. And while I had that back then, I just didn't have the courage or the confidence to navigate those waters. I'm so traumatized and so devastated just coming out of being held in captivity. I didn't want to go through the trauma of being rejected again and not being able to get back. So, I was working on some music. I got to give kudos to my guy, hip hop. Hip hop was one of the first people to come down there. Hip hop, he was A&R for Rockefeller. And he was one of the first people to come down there because him and G came to see me when I was
G. Robeson.
when I was incarcerated. They wanted to sign me. So the bidding war that we had initially, we had an even greater bidding war when I was up top. It was Dr. Dre, Jay-Z coming to Rikers Island in the Maybach when the Maybach first came out. Everybody wanted to sign me. But so G. Robeson and hip hop came all the way to Clinton Denimora to sign me. I ended up going with Kevin Lyles and Def Jam. But we kept that relationship. So when I got out, hip hop came to Belize. I had, leased out this penthouse and he built a studio there and he just camped out. But the problem was I lost my voice. While I never lost my pen game and, all of the analogies and double and triple entendres, my voice, it just wasn't there. That confidence, that conviction, that passion, it wasn't there. I was beaten. I was broken. I was devastated. I didn't even know it. It's like coming from Vietnam, coming from Iraq, coming from war, and you shot, but you're numb with adrenaline, and all you know to do is get to safety. And until you get to safety, then you realize that you're hit. And I think that's what happened to me when I came out. And I think another thing is I came out with a lot of negativity. When I came out, I was going at 50. I was going at Diddy. I was going at Drake. I came out on a real Tupac fashion, Tupac-esque approach. And I think that was dangerous. And I think so God, I'm a very spiritual person, not religious. I think the creator, he wasn't happy with that, because I spent 10 years on a spiritual journey, 10 years, practicing Judaism, 10 years preparing for liberation. And then I came out with a negative energy that could have jeopardized my freedom all over again. And so, I think that had a lot to do with my voice not being strong and me not being, Sean Poe that everybody knew and loved. And then, the record with DJ Khaled, respect to him, this was before he was flying the private planes. He was getting ready to take, he was getting ready to take a boat to Belize. He was the president of Def Jam at the time. This is before, I think he was the president of Def Jam, before Jay-Z was the president of Def Jam, or after Jay-Z left. This is after Jay-Z left Def Jam. He became the president of Def Jam. And he wanted to sign me as well. And so as soon as I signed, he was like, listen, I'm getting on the boat. I need you to do this record. Record was with, I believe, Movado. And then the record leaked, but then I didn't sound like Poe. So when I got to Belize, I lost my voice. I had to deal with Def Jam, multi-million-dollar deal with Def Jam. I went to Mexico City to shoot one of the videos for the album that was going to come out. And I still practice Judaism, still an Israelite. So every year,
What's crazy about that is his voice did change. Like when he got out of jail, he didn't sound the same. A lot of people was like, yeah, this nigga got trashed. That was crazy.
Incarcerated, I always say next year in Jerusalem. So I was out. It was Rosh Hashanah. We just had Rosh Hashanah this week. I still observe it. So when I was in Mexico, I said, you know what? Let me take a quick trip to Jerusalem. You know, I've been incarcerated 10 years. I used to always say every year, next year in Jerusalem, let me go to Jerusalem. Then I'll come back. I never came back. That's when I went down there and you saw me with the side curls and the hat. And I just went off on a spiritual journey. You know, I liken it to Malcolm X. I liken it, you know, to there's a guy named Bunny Weller that you know, was Bob Marley's right hand. Even Bob Marley himself, you know, because he went from wearing suits like me, you know, to becoming a Rasta. So I think we all go through that phase. But for me, what a lot of people don't understand is mental health and being emotionally sound was more important for me than anything, because being held in captivity for 10 years for something that you didn't do, your co-defendant snitching on you, losing everything, that's enough to drive someone insane. So when I came out, you know, holding on to my spirituality was important. So long story short, I went to Israel 2 years. I learned and studied what I needed to. I came to the conclusion that, you know what, religion is a farce for the most part, because you have people that pretend to be religious, look religious, dress religious, speak religious, but they're the most evil people in the world. And that counts for Muslims, Jews, Christians, you know, anybody could fall into that category. I'm not targeting anyone. But what I realize is I don't need to be religious. I don't need to have on these garbs. I don't need to look the part. What's the most important thing is to have integrity, which I always had, to be honest, to have compassion, to be tolerant, to just be a stand-up individual. That's my religion. Keep your word, you know, tolerate people, help people, lift people up, empower people. That's my religion. And I didn't need anything else, because I found myself very isolated as an African American Caribbean. I found myself, you know, alone. You know, a lot of people had all types of questions, and I'm like, man, listen, I left a multi-million-dollar deal to come down here to be closer to God, and you asking me a million questions. We're supposed to be one people, regardless of race, trying to be closer to the Most High. So I got up out of there. I still, you know, visit, but I do it on my own. Like, I'm not there for the religious people. I'm not there for the non-religious people. That's one of the holiest places, in my opinion, the holiest place in the world for all people, Christian, Muslim, Jews. And so I still stay connected to it. But I went back to Belize.
Style or
So they trying to
substance?
fuck us up. Let's find something else. What else we gonna react to? People. Yeah, good clickbait. Wow. Game Dash Ultimate. Mark Wahlberg.
This episode of $1 Million Worth of Gaming to you by DraftKings. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NFL. Every game is another chance to cash in. Don't just watch it in the action. Win with it. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers unmatched intensity of the NFL right to your fingertips. From first touchdown scores to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. New customers, this one is for you. Just bet $5 and get 200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over 200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season's heating up, so download DraftKings Sportsbook right now.
And, you know, I realized that in order to do what I do at a high level, you know, you got to have longevity, right? So just trying to figure out the right way to eat, the right way to exercise, the right way to recover, all of those things. And, you know, discipline has afforded me so many wonderful things in my life. So I was just like, wow, I just wish I would have just done this sooner, you know?
So how was it when you first started? You go to set?
Well, you know, you're young, you still wanted to go out, you still wanted to enjoy life, you know, especially you're in a new town, you're in a city like shooting in New York, for instance, right? Mm-hmm. So we'd go to the set, we'd shoot for a 12-hour day, then we'd go out and go to dinner and go out at night and do the whole thing. And, you know, next thing you know, you're sleeping on the trailer, you're sleeping on the floor, you're trying to get a nap in between setups and shots. But I obviously can't do that. I mean, I want to wake up feeling good. You know, I want to feel energetic. I feel better than I have in a long time through corrective exercise and stuff. I fixed a lot of I've got torn meniscus in both knees. I got torn labrums in both shoulders. I got 3 herniated discs, but I'm training correctly now. And, you know, I feel better than I have in a long time.
Every movie, I'm pretty sure you approach it differently. How did you approach Play Dirty?
Well, the great thing about Play Dirty is you got a writer-director, Shane Black, who is very specific in what he's looking for. So some directors are, you know, a little less experienced maybe than me, somebody maybe we've hired to come on and do something that we've produced and developed. But with Shane, this is his thing. So I'm basically there to service his vision. So I want to make sure that I know the script inside and out, word for word, every period, comma, punctuation mark, and then also come in with a million ideas myself to basically be able to enhance the part. And with this movie, you know, normally I'll have, it depends on what I'm doing before that, but I'll, you know, 3, 4, 5 months to prepare. And this movie, I signed on right before the writer strike. I mean, actually the actor strike. So we had about 7 months to prepare for this part. So I knew the script inside and out. But, you know, here's a guy who, you know, he has a very specific and unique vision. And there's only a few times I've worked with filmmakers where you're there specifically to service their vision.
These band lab vocals make me
Get to some peace, you know.
these band lab vocals make
Yo. What up?
Is the moon hollow? There's so many strange things about it.
Yo. Yo, what's good? What's going on, people? I'm doing some reactions. Let's see what's going on.
Did you make the right decision leaving rap?
I did.
Reactions.
Did you make the right decision leaving rap?
I did. Everything now that we see playing out was all the things I escaped. The car, the Shine, the Loon, Puff Daddy, the Craig Mack,
Biggie Smalls.
the Biggie Smalls. So even though I made those decisions and it cost me money, that's why I got with Killer and they gave me the money back. Me and Puff was like, I felt like I did more than I got credit for, more than I got paid for.
You felt or did you do that? Because you said felt, like
Okay,
feeling.
let's clear that up then.
You saying you feeling that?
No,
but
we're
did
gonna keep it because I'm trying to be nice. I never got paid what I was worth. and I never got the respect I was worth. So the disdain that I got for Puff is more like, you trying to keep me here. I'm not here. All my peers is up here. All my peers are bosses. When it's time, just like somebody raised somebody up, you know they did work with you. They go from your little man to maybe A&R to something else. He just kept trying to keep me right here, like he didn't want me to grow at anything.
And he walks in, and this particular day, I have to admit, like I was dressed like the Black Duke of Windsor. Like I was Murk, M-U-R-K, Murking, right? Like full out, the watch vibe, And so he walked in, he walked straight to my table. I stood up, and it was like a little stare down match on some
wow.
And I won. And then he just pointed the old girl like, yo, get this dude was the 2As then. Remember the 2A? Anybody with me? 2A.
Yeah, I had a 2A.
Stay with me. He's like, yo, you get this dude my 2A number. Well, I didn't call him the next day because I'm busy.
Back in the flashy bad boy era, everybody noticed Diddy's mysterious sidekick, the Umbrella Man. Rain or shine, parties or red carpets, this dude was always right behind Puff, carrying that umbrella like it was part of the image. At first, people thought it was just some weird fashion flex, another way for Diddy to show he was living different. But over time, whispers started. This wasn't just an assistant. The Umbrella Man became a symbol of how far Puff would go to look powerful, and a reminder that his inner circle was built on loyalty and silence. Then suddenly, he was gone. No public exit, no statement, no nothing. The same man who was seen everywhere with Puff just vanished from the spotlight. That disappearance sparked years of rumors, and now Mace is putting the pieces together, claiming Diddy's Umbrella Man knew way too much and going into hiding wasn't a choice, it was survival.
I guess when I moved to New York, obviously I stood out dressing like this, in a lot of the hip hop clubs and things. And, literally one day he came up to me. He's like, I really want you to work on my fall wardrobe. So I exchanged information with him, a very important 2A number. And now knowing how his schedule is, it was very difficult to get with him actually. So during his trial, we sent him a lot of, spiritual verses just to kind of support him. And then one day, I left the restaurant. I was working as a maitre d' for the Madison Park, a fantastic restaurant in New York City. And I said, you remember the guy from New York City that traveled to, you remember the guy from Howard that traveled to New York City to intern with Andre Harrell and that guy in 2001? Please, I need a job. And he said, come to 1396 3rd Avenue on this 2-way. And I literally raced to that address and I started as assistant that day. And the rest is history.
The thing is it was how fast he disappeared.
Yes. Now he lives in Atlanta. He's married. He has 2 sons. He's living his life. I mean, but how many? Listen, y'all. If you've ever lived in Atlanta, the majority. The majority of them are bisexual and gay men. They just give up their life to be married and gave their life to God, and then you'll pass.
And down low culture is still very, very, very heavy in the Black community in Atlanta. It's funny because Atlanta's like a gay mecca. You would think that there would be no need for down low culture, but down low culture is thriving in Atlanta still.
And it's weird because you can find whatever you want in Atlanta, any kind of relationship, poly, orgies, whatever you're into, you can find somebody there that's into it. It's really, you may meet somebody and ladies like, yeah, these are my 2 husbands.
Yeah.
So you think he was Diddy's concubine?
Absolutely. He was too complicit and he was too compliant, and he just disappeared. He disappeared faster than Mace did. When Mace ran from Diddy, you could see the trailer just fire from his footsteps as he ran.
That is true.
Church. But I don't understand why people don't ask why. People, oh yeah, he gone. Oh, okay. Nobody bothered to ask why.
Mace has never been shy about calling out Puff, and this time he made it clear. The Umbrella Man disappeared because he saw too much. According to Mace, Bad Boy wasn't just about music. It was about the lifestyle, the wild parties, and the dark secrets behind closed doors. The Umbrella Man wasn't just holding shade. He was standing right there as Puff moved through scandals, late-night meetings, and situations most of the world would never believe. Think about it. The umbrella wasn't just a prop. It gave him a reason to be in every room, right up close. If those rumors about secret tapes, freaky parties, and shady business deals are true, then the Umbrella Man had a front row seat. And Mace is hinting that once Puff realized how much this guy knew, he became a liability. That's why he went off the grid, avoiding interviews, avoiding cameras, and avoiding questions. To Mace, the disappearance is less about stepping away from the spotlight and more about being forced into silence.
He was always right there, but not like at
Cut
that
ass.
time when we was at doing things. He was.
Yo, join the chat. Right here, watch this. Umbrella Man. What's good, man? Jump in the box. I'm gonna be DJing live later on around. Reactions right here. Cracking. Yo, there you go. What you got cracking, Clive? Who playing? The Rams and the 49ers. Who winning? Okay. Niners won their last game, didn't they? They lost their last one. I was at Bobby house. I think they won. Well, that might have been last week. I don't know. I was over there watching some reactions and shit. Ain't really nothing going on, man. Ain't nothing cracking on the time. Ain't nothing going on. It's boring. Let me see. Ray J been doing some shit. Let me see who online. We got India Love. India Love. We got I Show Speed. Everybody else online. Neon online. Agent. I need to get on Twitch. Yep. He was in LA with YG. Yeah. We got Toe Tie. My boy Toe Tie. You don't know about Toe Tie, huh? This nigga Toe Tie got bars, nigga. He got in the car with Snoop, nigga was spitting. I think I posted that shit. Huh? You seen it? That nigga Toe Tie got a record deal, fool. Yep. That would make sense. I see Toe Tie been rocking his Death Row chain ever since. That's gonna be super dope. He did get off though. He got off on that beat. Like it was like a West Coast type old school beat. And he was really spitting to it. And I was like, man, that's crazy. I never heard that before. I never heard it in a different language to a real West Coast beat. You feel me? Facts. He definitely got like some bars for the young generation. Have I let you hear my boy song yet? Joker Low. You heard the whole thing? What you think? Slot? Oh, you definitely should have sent them some beats. Like he gonna get them the beats. But man, play it. I want to hear it. I'm sure it's hard. I think you do. I think I remember y'all doing something. I think that's gonna be super dope. Yeah, I like it. I like that one song though. Could have been Yo Daddy, I was smacking on your mom's. That have been a minute. I gotta. I was telling them it's like an easy little game plan because when you got good records and it's new and it's a breath of fresh air. It's not. I don't think it's hard to break it. I think you just gotta put a little money behind some promotion and then find a couple DJs and some good spots to play your shit. I know a DJ that'll play that shit too. That's why I'm happy I'm in Vegas because when people hear it's like a neutral zone. You know what I'm saying? And nobody really like nigga, you too far away from me to really be on that. But some people do, some people don't, but not the motherfuckers I be around. I got a song with a DJ who's a producer, and I'm sure he plays it. Like I'm getting played, and the song ain't even out. He just this my boy Big Surf God. We did a song with you. Woo, here we go, bam. And then I'll be hearing it, and I'm like, oh, he playing this shit at the V Lounge. He playing this shit around the rappers and producers and shit. So they hearing my name as an artist and don't even, you feel me? So I don't know. But I think that's a good strategy to click up with DJs who produce and do records with them. And because they're tied to it, they're gonna play it. You get what I'm saying? What do you think? I got a scenario. Do you think the original way of breaking records on the radio in DJs and clubs, or do you think TikTok and Instagram is the new wave of breaking records? Because all right, go ahead. I'll leave it there. Right. Yes. That's true. You not lying though. The range. I gotta get my mom on TikTok. I don't know if she got TikTok on her phone. I tried to get her to download Bigo. I'm like, download Bigo, mom. You gonna love it. You ain't even gotta show yourself. You just talking. You know, Bigo and TikTok is kind of like the same thing. Like what we doing right now, it's exactly the same thing. Gifts, blah 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 blah. But except you will instead of us having 2 people watching right now, you will have like 150 people watching. People really show love, and you join like families. And I'm learning. I don't know too much about it, but I'm learning, and I'm starting to jump. I jump on it every day, like I do TikTok. At least for an hour, get on there, play some music, chill for a minute, talk to people, and I dip out. But I'm learning it because I got like 60 peanuts. I don't know what this shit. I gotta go to my old friend Chat GTP and then ask him or her. What do you think? Is Chat GTP a him or her, bro? I feel like if you got like a bug, it's a girl. Feel me? What color it is? Right. Oh yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, you going too deep with it. Me and Jeffrey finna go. Sure. You know what? Okay, because look, remember the movie Gone in 60 Seconds? All the cars had girl names. My little B dub got a you go to Jelly. I call it Lisa. So jumping on Lisa and hit the block real quick. Oh, they had some good funny names for cars. Grandma, nigga actually wrote grandma. You don't even know grandma. Bessie, the old Bessie. Betsy. Old Cheryl. I have one named Cheryl. Oh, that motherfucker was cold. Cheryl was no joke, man. Yep. This like a Chevy Lumina though. This wasn't like the 1970s. This motherfucker was tricky. Cheryl, she worked when she wanted to. She might run hot on your ass. You don't know what might happen. Oh man, I remember we had one car and we called it Monster. That motherfucker was Monster. Nigga, you have to get in it from the passenger seat and get into the driver's side. All right, for the people listening, we're gonna play this record, man. I want to hear it one time. Let's go. What you think about the visual while I play the record? I told him that too. I said the AI is super dope. Like niggas don't really know we fuck with AI hard. Okay, I got it. Check it out. My thing is, why is people acting like AI is new when they've been using this shit at movies and shit for years? We've been watching AI. A lot of that shit ain't real. What the fuck? Facts. I was gonna start sports betting with it. AI know the games. AI know what the fuck going on, nigga. Why wouldn't I be using AI to make bets for me? And come on now. Our help AI, man. If AI is as smart as it is, then how wouldn't AI be able to predict the odds of who gonna win this golf tournament or this horse race or what the lottery number should be? Like, if you ain't never tried, you really never know. I think you gotta with AI, you gotta be very specific though. You notice how sometimes when you type something in the AI, it start asking you all kind of questions. When I type it into a specific T, it don't ask me no questions. It just start generating. So I just start breaking things all the way down to where it can understand it, and I don't waste no time because I ain't paying for it. All right, let's get into this record, man. Hey, Joker Logan, Jay Ready. You say? What'd you say? All right, man. I don't know. I fuck with this. This shit hard, bro. And it sounds different. It said I'm finna go with some weights. Gym music. Huh? I get what you're saying. I don't get workouts from this D class. I don't know where you got me. Now I'm gonna have to listen to it all over. Because I'm over here pitching there a Batman movie. I'm thinking because his whole concept is the Joker, right? So I'm like, Joker workout. Got me here, bro. You just hit me with some shit. Now I gotta think. Now I gotta look at it from a whole. I gotta listen to it all over go. I gotta take the Joker out of it. Don't think about Batman and think about I get it. I get it. But you don't feel like you'll bump this like it's just nostalgia music. You at the crib, like I'm finna roll up and just trip out, listen to some Joker Low. Right. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that live. We got shout out Caleb Bates Girl. Yep. Every day at 8:30. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna stay consistent. What I've been doing, I've been getting on here playing instrumental beats and playing acapellas from oldies and then trying to sample records live. I got a couple of them that sound real good. And I was surprised myself because I never did it. But that's what I've been doing lately. But I definitely want to get in to like get people talent shows, blah blah blah. So you do music or whatever you got going on, tap in with us. Yeah, yeah, I just use mine for lighting. just use for light. I might soak this up. Yeah, we on YouTube right now, bro. I'm on YouTube right now. I'm about to log off YouTube so we can play some music.